Okay. Also, there is an attendance link that has been pasted in the chat box. So please click on that link and mark your attendance. Let's start the session. I think in the meantime, everybody else will join. Before starting the session, let's first look at the agendas of the session. So, we, Shri Aurobindo Society, the Rupantar programs that we've been running in collaboration with Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. What are those programs? वो programs क्या हैं? What are their motives? उनका purpose क्या है? What are their structures? What are the different stages of those programs? That is the first agenda of this session. We will have a discussion on those. Secondly, obviously, if there are some programs running, there must be some resources required. कुछ resources होंगे which are getting generated, which are getting produced as the result of these programs, which are provided to all the teachers and the authorities by Rupantar team. What are those resources? उनका progress क्या है? That is something we will discuss in the second agenda of the session. And third, and very importantly, how can we implement these programs even more effectively? Obviously, these programs are getting implemented in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan schools, but और ज़्यादा better कैसे किया जा सकता है और effective कैसे किया जा सकता है? What will be the role of the teacher in effective implementation, and also what is the role of the leadership, the school leadership, the HMs, in case of the primary grades when it comes to the effective implementation of these programs. So these are the agendas for this session. These are all the discussion that we are going to have in this session. Just a request from my side, because this is an online session, so please keep your cameras switched on. Also, at any point during the session, throughout the session, if there is any doubt, any question, any suggestion, anything that you want to share, you can just unmute yourself and share that, right? So that we can have that interactive session, that two-way session that we talk about, right? Okay, let's start with the first agenda of the session, which is the introduction of Rupantar programs in KBS. So, sir ने अभी एक program के बारे में mention किया, the booklets that the sir has mentioned. Which program was sir talking about?
Project based learning.
Ma'am, can you please share something about this program? Anything that your understanding, whatever you have observed, कुछ भी.
It focuses on competency based assessment and uh, assessment while learning, like assessment as learning activities.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to share their understanding, their views, their observation about the project-based learning program? However, you have observed it in your school.
Sir, it is based on the TLOs and curricular goals given by National Curricular Framework, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Anything else?
Sir, for example, if we are teaching a topic of water, so we can ask to do the survey ki how much amount of water we are spending per day, and how where we can save the water like that. So it doesn't mean that it's all about the project only, but yes,
Hmm.
करके सीखने वाली स्थिति.
Sir, one more point I would like to add. It is based on the daily life experiences, sir. How they
Okay,
have daily life and how do they solve using the knowledge and skill they have acquired. The questions are of such type. This is what we have observed, sir.
okay. Thank you so much. So let's have a little bit of discussion on the programs first. So these are the programs that we, Rupantar, Shri Aurobindo Society, have been running in collaboration with Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. right? So the first two programs that you see, competency-based learning and competency-based assessments, these two programs are for secondary grades, for grade 6 to 10 specifically. Then you see the project-based learning program. This program is specifically designed for grade 1 to 5. And then you see at the end, there is another program which is project inclusion, which we will talk about again. This program is for both the primary grades and secondary grades as well. So for both grade 1 to 5 and grade 6 to 10, project inclusion is a common program. Project-based learning is for primary grades, for grade 1 to 5. Competency-based learning and competency-based assessments are for secondary grades, which is grade 6 to 10. Right. So as this is the session for HMs, we will talk about project-based learning and project inclusion. These are the two programs that we are going to talk about in this session. Right. Okay. Let's start with project-based learning. So as all of you have mentioned, project-based learning is basically a measure. It's a way to make the education, to make the learning more joyful and more experiential from the point of view of the student. स्टूडेंट जैसा मैम ने एग्जांपल दिया कि बच्चे उसको कनेक्ट कर पाए, बच्चा खुद करके सीखे. दैट इज समथिंग वी एम इन प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग, राइट? When we talk about the project based learning program that we've been running together, we've been doing together, what is the structure of that program? अभी किसी ने booklets का mention किया था. उसके बाद की stages क्या है? Once you receive the booklets, what is the next step?
सर वी हैव टू फिल दैट ऐप पोर्टल कि उसमें मतलब काफी सारे जो भी टॉपिक्स हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपके बच्चे की क्या क्या फीलिंग थी.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am has mentioned a portal, a dashboard, जहां पर जो भी बच्चों की performances रही हैं, जो भी बच्चों का data है, उसको fill किया जाता है. Anything else?
सर लेवल्स डिसाइड किए जाते हैं उसमें.
थैंक यू मैम. सो बच्चों को किस क्राइटेरियाज पर इवेल्युएट करना है, उस क्राइटेरियाज पर इवेल्युएट करने के बाद बच्चे की परफॉर्मेंसेस को लेवल्स में डिफरेंशिएट किया जाता है. दोज लेवल्स आर प्री डिटरमाइंड. उनका क्लियर क्राइटेरिया जो है वो पहले से स्पेसिफाइड रहता है. यू जस्ट हैव टू चेक इन विच लेवल द चाइल्ड फॉल्स इन based on the performance of that child, of that student in a particular activity, in a particular task, right? Okay, let's go through the stages one by one. So the program starts with providing PBL booklets, which Shri Aurobindo Society provides, which are basically provided to RO, and RO sends it to the schools based on the number of students in every school. So grade 1 to 5 के लिए PBL booklets डिजाइन की जाती हैं और वो प्रोवाइड की जाती हैं. And then there is a 2-day implementation training program for PRTs as well on how to use that PBL booklets. उन PBL booklets को use कैसे करना है, आगे की क्या stages हैं, right? Data entry कैसे करनी है. So all those things are, the learning of all those stages are shared in this 2-day implementation training, right? Now, once the training is done, the third step is incorporation of those PBL activity. Now, if you see the PBL booklets, obviously there are some themes, common themes that are followed, right? अच्छा, कितनी booklets मिलती हैं हमें of 1 year?
Sir, two booklets.
Sorry, sir.
For each term, we are getting two booklets, sir.
Okay, so two booklets वहां पर आपको सर documented form में two booklets होती हैं, but in each booklet there are two themes, right? So there are total of 4 themes, which basically means one theme for one quarter, right? तो वो थ्रू आउट द ईयर आपको जो है वो बुकलेट का मटेरियल जो है यू कैन यूज इन योर क्लासरूम. नाउ हाउ दोस बुकलेट्स आर डिजाइन्ड विद इन अ थीम, द मल्टी अप्रोच इज टेकन, अलाइनिंग विद द एफएलएन एंड द एकेडमिक्स. वो एकेडमिक्स से अलग नहीं है, एफएलएन से अलग नहीं है. मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच से हमारा मतलब है कि इवन इफ द नेम ऑफ द थीम इज फूड, उस फूड थीम की बुकलेट में एक्टिविटीज में सभी सब्जेक्ट्स को कैटर किया जाएगा ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर ग्रेड. सो देयर विल बी सम एक्टिविटीज, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ इट इज फॉर ग्रेड 3, ईवीएस की भी कुछ एक्टिविटीज होंगी, मैथ्स की भी कुछ एक्टिविटीज होंगी, हिंदी की भी कुछ एक्टिविटीज होंगी, इंग्लिश की भी कुछ एक्टिविटीज होंगी, राइट? सो हर एक सब्जेक्ट की एक्टिविटीज होंगी विद इन दैट वन थीम, विद इन दैट वन बुकलेट, राइट? सो क्लासेस जब आप कंडक्ट करवाते हैं, द टीचर्स द हु आर टेकिंग द क्लासेस फॉर प्राइमरी ग्रेड, सो ग्रेड 1 to 5, they don't have to conduct separate classes in silos for PBL. What you have to do is, what the teachers has to do is, they simply have to check कि जो भी कॉन्सेप्ट वो पढ़ाने जा रहे हैं क्लास में, उस कॉन्सेप्ट से अलाइनिंग जो भी एक्टिविटी उस बुकलेट में दी गई है, they just have to pick that activity and integrate within their classroom. right? So the third step talks about that stage, which is incorporation of PBL activities. तो PBL की activities जो भी हैं उनको आप अपनी classroom टीचिंग में इंटीग्रेट करते हैं, इंक्लूड करते हैं, अलाइनिंग विद वट एवर कॉन्सेप्ट यू आर टीचिंग. किस बेसिस पर आप करेंगे, वी विल टॉक अबाउट दैट बेसिस, दैट रिसोर्स इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, राइट? नाउ वंस यू इनकॉर्पोरेट दोज एक्टिविटीज, उन एक्टिविटीज को कंडक्ट करवाया टीचर्स ने, उसके थ्रू बच्चे से असेसमेंट हुआ, बच्चे ने परफॉर्म किया. नाउ ऑब्वियसली द नेक्स्ट स्टेप इज इवेल्युएशन. सो जो भी डिटेल्स बच्चे ने फिल की है बुकलेट्स में विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट टास्क, उसका इवेल्युएशन होता है. किस बेसिस पर इवेल्युएशन होगा? एज मैम हैज मेंशन्ड, एज सर हैज मेंशन्ड, देयर आर सर्टेन क्राइटेरिया जिनके बेसिस पर लेवल किया जाता है बच्चे को. वी कॉल देम रूब्रिक्स. तो बच्चे की परफॉर्मेंस को इवेल्युएट करने के लिए वी यूज अनदर रिसोर्स कॉल्ड रूब्रिक्स. रूब्रिक्स के बेसिस पर बच्चे की परफॉर्मेंस को इन दैट टास्क इवेल्युएट किया जाता है, और जो भी डेटा कैप्चर हुआ है उसको पीबीएल डैशबोर्ड पर अपलोड किया जाता है, right? The project booklets have, as I said, the activities catering to different subjects. Subject teachers can take those activity with respect to their concept or class that they are going to teach. जो भी chapter वो पढ़ाने वाले हैं उसके catering activities वो pick कर सकते हैं from that booklet. Once the data is collected, once the booklet is completed, उस data को upload करने का, dashboard पर upload करने का काम is for class teacher. So the class teacher uploads the data, the subject teachers integrate the activities with respect to their subjects, chapters, and concept that they are going to teach in their classroom. Right? So once the data, once the information, once everything is uploaded on the dashboard, the next step is analytics of students' performance. Obviously, जो भी data record हुआ है, जो भी data upload किया गया है dashboard पर, उसके बेसिस पर एक प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट बच्चे की जनरेट होती है, which displays all the criteria, all the performance the student has done throughout that one booklet, no matter what the subject was. वो collate करके एक रिपोर्ट जनरेट होती है फ्रॉम योर डैशबोर्ड इन विच यू हैव अपलोडेड ऑल द डेटा, राइट? सो दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग प्रोग्राम. ये अलग अलग स्टेजेस हैं इस प्रोग्राम की. इफ देयर इज एनी क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू एनी ऑफ द स्टेज, प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड फील फ्री टू आस्क.
Sir, in this case now I'm facing one problem because
जी मैम.
some of the students in few questions are good in oral. They are unable to write, but I have to give them level only on the basis of writing. So in that case, what we can do? But they are giving me, they're responding orally very well, but not able to write, not able to express, or not able to express them in writing. So in this case, what can we do?
See ma'am, what you are saying is a very valid point. एंड आइडियली देयर शुड बी सम लेवल फॉर दैट एज वेल. जब हम लेवल्स की बात करते हैं, हम आगे रूब्रिक्स देखने वाले हैं, तो जब आप लेवल्स की बात करेंगे, लेवल्स डिफरेंशिएट ही उस बेसिस पर होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल लेवल 1 में द चाइल्ड इज नीदर एक्सप्रेसिंग ओरली नॉर एक्सप्रेसिंग बाय राइटिंग, right? But there must be some level जहां पर the child is expressing, the child is able to express orally, but वो लिख नहीं पा रहा है. So you keep that child in level 2. But then there will be level 3 जो बच्चा express orally भी कर पा रहा है, written form में भी कर पा रहा है, उस बच्चे को आप proficient में रखते हैं. तो levels की descriptions को आप ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे तो there must be that criteria whether the student is able to express orally in or in written form. उसी के basis पर हम बच्चों को differentiate करते हैं so that we can work on them, right? उनको डिस्क्रिमिनेट करने के लिए नहीं, so that we can work on that gap, work on that lacking which the student has. So if you go through the criteria, there must be the clear differentiation. Still, if you come up with an activity जहां पर इस तरह का प्रॉब्लम आप फेस करते हैं और एक्टिविटी में आपको रूब्रिक सेटिस्फैक्टरी नहीं मिले हैं, you can please let me know the case. Any other question? Okay, if there is no question, please give me a thumbs up. You can raise your hand, you can put the question in the chat as well, or you can unmute yourself if you want to share anything, if you have any question. Okay, there are a lot of thumbs up. That means we should move ahead. Okay, let's move ahead. So this was the program structure and the different stages. Now let's talk about the progress of this program in your region, in Chennai region. So the data displayed on the right side basically shows the progress of the program project-based learning in the Chennai region. इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ट्रेनिंग सेशन जिसकी हमने बात की थी स्ट्रक्चर में, दैट इज येट टू बी स्केड्यूल्ड, वो भी नहीं हुआ है। दैट मीन्स कि पीआरटी टीचर्स ऑफलाइन ट्रेन नहीं हुए हैं, बट वी ऑल्सो हैव एन ऑनलाइन ओरिएंटेशन सेशन जिसके थ्रू हम कुछ कोऑर्डिनेटर्स को ट्रेन करते हैं सो दैट दे कैन शेयर देयर लर्निंग विद द पीयर टीचर्स एज वेल। सो ऑनलाइन सेशन के थ्रू देयर आर 120 टीचर्स हु हैव बीन ट्रेन्ड इन चेन्नई रीजन। The number of booklets that have been distributed in the Chennai region is more than 27,000. The number of schools that has participated from Chennai region is 52. Count of teachers from Chennai region who have maintained their record in PBL dashboard is 738. कितने students का record maintain किया गया है? That is more than 25,000. The count of students who have participated in PBL activities, कुछ ना कुछ PBL का data उन students के बारे में upload किया जा चुका है, update किया जा चुका है. That number is close to 24,000. Across KVS region, the number of projects that have been completed is more than 1 million. From that number, Chennai region में जो projects complete हुए हैं, that is more than 45,000. Some of the projects are still maybe in progress. Some of the activities are still yet to be completed. That is why their status is partially completed project और उनका number है close to 1,500. Right? So this is the overall data which shows that this program is getting implemented in Chennai region as well, and the number shows that yes, PBL has been getting implemented. How we can increase the effectivity, enhance the effectivity, that we will discuss in the latter half of the session. Now, हमने स्ट्रक्चर की बात की, इस प्रोग्राम की अलग अलग स्टेजेस की बात की। कौन कौन से रिसोर्सेज हैं विच विल बी रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दिस प्रोजेक्ट, फॉर दिस प्रोग्राम? कौन कौन से रिसोर्सेस मेंशन किए थे हमने while discussing the structure, while discussing different stages? किन मटेरियल्स की जरूरत होगी हमें?
Booklets थी।
Sorry ma'am, come again
We
please.
need booklets, PBL
Thank you so
booklets.
much. Yeah, for the first and the foremost, we need the PBL booklets, which are quarterly project booklets as we have discussed. Theme wise booklets होंगी और उन booklets में activities होंगी. What is the next thing?
सर सिस्टम जिससे हम पोर्टल ओपन करेंगे एंड प्रॉपर जिस पे चलेगा, फॉर एग्जांपल लैपटॉप है ना।
Okay, okay.
चिल्ड्रन
Any other thing? So when we talk about PBL resources, we are talking about the materials that you require from our end, right? So booklet is one thing. What is the next thing? अच्छा, अभी हमने बात की थी कि बुकलेट्स में अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट की एक्टिविटीज होंगी, राइट? अब उन एक्टिविटीज को आप कैसे अलाइन करेंगे अपनी क्लासरूम से, राइट? उसके लिए वी नीड द सेकंड रिसोर्स व्हिच इज द कॉन्सेप्ट मैपिंग शीट। हम इन सभी रिसोर्सेज को वन बाय वन देखने वाले हैं इन द कमिंग स्लाइड्स। So the concept mapping sheets basically tells you all the details about that activity. वो activity किस chapter के साथ, किस subject के साथ, किस outcome के साथ, कौन सी skills, कौन सी values के साथ align करती है. All those details are mentioned in the concept mapping sheets. So the teacher who is going to take the class, they simply have to check कि उनके जो chapter वो पढ़ाने जा रहे हैं, उस chapter के साथ, उस concept के साथ aligning activity क्या इस booklet में है. If yes, they just have to integrate that or incorporate that activity in that class, right? The third thing is obviously जब आप बच्चे को evaluate करेंगे to eliminate the scope of subjectivity firstly, because we all are different brains, we all think differently, but हमको consistency लानी है, standardization लानी है when it comes to evaluating the student. So there should be clear criteria of evaluation which rubrics gives, राइट? किस बेसिस पर आप बच्चे को इवेल्युएट कर रहे हैं इन अ गिवन टास्क। टास्क में भी अलग अलग स्किल्स और आपके टास्क इंक्लूडेड हो सकते हैं, एक्टिविटीज में अलग अलग स्किल्स और टास्क इंक्लूडेड हो सकते हैं। सो रूब्रिक्स आर डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट एक्टिविटीज एज वेल, राइट? वी विल हैव अ लुक एट द सैंपल ऑफ रूब्रिक्स एज वेल. Then see, one of the good thing about PBL is that it gives you the scope of subjectivity. Every student is different, every student comes from a different background, every student has a different experience in their life. So there are questions which give them the scope of subjectivity, जहां पर वो subjectively questions को answer कर सकते हैं, right? And there is no right or wrong, it is their answer. Like how well they have expressed, that you can obviously evaluate. But obviously there might be some questions जिसका एक concrete answer होगा. कुछ क्वेश्चंस ऐसे भी होंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल आप मैथ्स का क्वेश्चन करवा रहे हैं, आप साइंस की कोई एक्टिविटी करवा रहे हैं, देयर माइट बी सम क्वेश्चंस जहां पर एक कॉन्क्रीट आंसर होगा. सो देयर इज एन आंसर की दैट इज आल्सो प्रोवाइडेड अलोंग विथ द अदर रिसोर्सेज. द टीचर डजंट हैव टू सोल्व एनीथिंग, वो सभी आंसर्स आंसर की में गिवन होंगे. So this is the fourth resource of the PBI. And last, the dashboard. Obviously, जो data आपको maintain करना है, there should be a common basically ground on which you have to upload all the data, a common source from where you can generate that progress report, जहां से आप progress report generate कर सकते हैं. So the dashboard gives you that luxury of uploading the data on one common platform. So different teachers upload all the data on a common dashboard, and the dashboard is accessed by everybody. It can be accessed by the principal sir, it can be accessed by the people at RO and headquarters as well, right? So dashboard gives you the luxury of having the data on one common platform and generating a progress report, which is basically analytics of the student's performance pertaining to different tasks the student has performed in a given booklet. Any questions till now? Any doubts? Okay.
सर हमने
Okay,
अभी
let's.
क्वार्टर 1 का
जी मैम
खत्म
प्लीज.
कर दिया ना सर, अभी क्वार्टर 2 का कब तक खत्म करना है सर?
क्वार्टर टू का मैम, क्वार्टर टू आपको क्वार्टर टू का तो खत्म हो जाना चाहिए था अभी.
अच्छा.
हाँ. सी एक्टिविटीज जब भी आप करवाते हैं, द आइडियल वे इज जब भी आप एक्टिविटीज करवा रहे हैं क्लास में, तो क्लास टीचर शुड अपलोड द डेटा अलोंग विद द एक्टिविटीज. सो जब भी
ओके.
आप सिलेबस के साथ एक्टिविटीज को अलाइन कर रहे हैं, सो दैट प्रोजेक्ट रन्स अलोंग विद योर सिलेबस ओनली. तो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि आप उसको उस तरह से बैलेंस करें जिस तरह से आपने सिलेबस को बैलेंस किया है.
ठीक है सर, कर देंगे सर. ओके, थैंक यू
ओके,
सर.
लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट दीज रिसोर्सेज वन बाय वन. Okay, so this is how this is a glimpse of basically the project-based learning booklet. इस तरह से booklet दिखाई देती है हमें. As you can see, there are different tasks within that one theme, which are pertaining to different subject, different domains. आपको हिंदी का task भी दिखाई देगा, maths का भी दिखेगा, arts का भी दिखेगा, right? English का भी होगा. So different subjects, different domains task is included within that one theme. Let me show you the booklet itself. In the screenshot, it might not be visible. So let's have a look at the booklet. This is for grade 3, quarter 3 and 4. Now let's see a few activities. For example, this is the theme food. Now within that food theme, if you go through this sample, let's have a look at this sample. So Oro's younger brother puts everything in his mouth. His mother tells him not everything can be eaten. Some things are safe to eat and some are not. Let's see if you can tell the difference. Now, this is an activity, this is a task which can be aligned with grade 3's food chapter. जिस भी chapter में food discuss हुआ होगा, जिस भी chapter का outcome होगा, classifies between edible and inedible food item, वहां पर इस एक्टिविटी को, इस टास्क को इंटीग्रेट किया जा सकता है, इंक्लूड किया जा सकता है उस क्लास के टाइम पे. वेर एवर द टाइमिंग इज सुटेबल फॉर दिस टास्क, इस टास्क को करवाया जा सकता है और बच्चे के रिस्पॉन्सेज को बुकलेट्स में नोट करवाया जा सकता है. Right? So this activity, for example, is aligning with EVS. Now, if you go forward, now if you have a look at this activity, so there is some mathematic task involved. Right? So there is some addition and subtraction involved. एक scenario दिया गया है of some individual going for shopping. क्या शॉप किया, उसका क्या प्राइस था, इंडिविजुअल के पास टोटल अमाउंट कितना था, all those details are given. Now the student has to basically write down कि at every step how much amount was left, कितना अमाउंट स्पेंड किया, कितना अमाउंट पेंडिंग है. So all those questions can be answered. And this activity, this task can be aligned with the mathematical chapter, mathematical concept, जहां पर भी आपका subtraction का concept होगा within that grade. Right? So this is how the different activities will be within that one theme. And these activities, these tasks, there might be some activities where the student is doing something, the student is performing arts, the student is performing origami, creating something. So वो उस तरह की activities भी होंगी, and according to the nature of the activities, they can be aligned with the particular class, the particular chapter and the concept which the teacher is going to take on that given day. Right? Okay. So this was the first resource, which was your quarterly project booklet. Now have a look at the second resource, which is the concept mapping sheet. So if you see on the left side, जो भी activities आपकी booklets में होंगी, there is the name of the activity. What is the central idea of the activity? That is also mentioned. कि उस activity में बच्चा कर क्या रहा है basically, right? Rather than writing the entire activity, what is the purpose of that activity? What is the main idea behind that activity? That is mentioned here. Then which subject the activity is aligning to? किस subject के साथ activity align कर रहा है? EVS, English, Maths, Hindi. That subject is mentioned, right? And then which chapter and the chapter name and the chapter number of the book is the activity aligning with? किस chapter के साथ align कर रहे हैं? किस concept के साथ align कर रहे हैं? That is also mentioned in the other row. कौन सा लर्निंग आउटकम्स है अमंग्स द गिवन लर्निंग आउटकम्स जो इस एक्टिविटी के थ्रू अचीव कर रहे हैं या हम एम कर रहे हैं, दैट इज आल्सो मेंशन्ड. Now there will be many activity where you will see, as I have mentioned, this is a multidisciplinary approach we are talking about. So there might be cases where within that one activity multiple domains are being catered to, right? So integration with other subjects में that thing is mentioned कि apart from the major concept, the main concept और कौन से subjects integrate हो रहे हैं, that is also mentioned. Then on the exact right side, there are skills and values part. So कौन कौन से skills बच्चा exhibit कर रहा है, कौन कौन से skills इससे हम develop करना चाह रहे हैं, that is mentioned. कौन कौन सी values बच्चा exhibit कर रहा है while doing that activity, while performing that task, that is also mentioned on the right side. Right? So all these details you get from this concept mapping sheet of a particular booklet. So the teacher, whenever they are going to take class, they simply have to see this concept mapping sheet. अगर उस chapter और concept के साथ जो भी activity align हो रही है, they have to simply pick that activity from the booklet and incorporate that for that day, for that class. Any questions till now? No questions? Okay, let's move ahead to the next resource. Okay. We talked about evaluation. We talked about evaluating the students' response, students' performance within that activity, within that task. Students की performance को evaluate करने के लिए we have rubrics. Now, as I have briefly mentioned earlier, rubrics में आपके कुछ parameters रहेंगे which will vary from activity to activity. Right? कुछ activities में आपका task का nature अलग होगा, कुछ activities में task का nature अलग होगा. Depending upon the nature of task, the parameters will differ. Right? फॉर एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पर पैरामीटर है ओवरऑल परफॉर्मेंस इन टास्क और जो भी वो परफॉर्मेंस की हम बात करें दैट इज रिटन इन द ब्रैकेट्स. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू रूब्रिक्स, एज मैम हैज आस्क्ड, मैम ने पूछा था कि देयर आर सम स्टूडेंट्स जो उस टास्क को शायद रिटन फॉर्म में नहीं कर पा रहे हैं बट वो ओरली बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्रेस कर रहे हैं, राइट? सो इन्हीं गैप्स को आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए वी हैव डिफरेंट लेवल्स. लेवल्स में देयर आर क्लियर क्राइटेरिया जिनके बेसिस पर एक बच्चे को एक लेवल एसोसिएट किया जाएगा. फॉर एग्जांपल आपके लेवल 1 में देयर इज वेरी मिनिमल अंडरस्टैंडिंग शोन और नो अंडरस्टैंडिंग शोन, और किसी भी वे में बच्चा प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पा रहा है, वेदर इट इज ओरल, वेदर इट इज रिटन फॉर्म और इन एनी अदर फॉर्म, right? In while in other levels you see there are some other differentiator. For example, हो सकता है किसी एक बच्चे की अंडरस्टैंडिंग पार्शियली एग्जिबिट हुई हो, उसने पार्शियली एक्सप्रेस किया हो, so you can keep that student in level 2. Similarly, जो बच्चा अच्छे से उसको एक्सप्लेन कर पा रहा है, प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग बता पा रहा है, अच्छे से एक्सप्रेस कर पा रहा है, उसको आप एडवांस्ड लेवल 4 में रख सकते हैं. So all the different levels have clear criteria. And this is, as I said earlier, I'll repeat again, this is not to discriminate students, this is to exactly know where the student lacks, what are the learning gaps, and where we have to work on the student, right? एक बच्चा बहुत अच्छे से प्रेजेंट कर पा रहा है बट लिख नहीं पा रहा है, तो we know we have to work on the writing skills of the student, right? So rubrics में clear criteria होंगे which will give you the indication about the students' strength as well as their learning gaps or the weaknesses or the scope of improvement that we can see. Right? So this is the role of the rubrics. It is also provided. Let's move on to the next resource, the answer key. हमने अभी बुकलेट्स में जो एक्टिविटी देखी थी मैथ की, नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल उस एक्टिविटी में, उस टास्क में देयर आर सम कॉन्क्रीट आंसर्स, यहाँ पर सब्जेक्टिविटी का स्कोप नहीं है, बिकॉज 100 माइनस 35 इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी 65। तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चन जहां पर कॉन्क्रीट आंसर्स होंगे, देयर इज एन आंसर की दैट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड। बट जहां पर सब्जेक्टिविटी होगी, as you can see on the last question, why is it important to save money? Now there is no one answer, one designated answer, one concrete answer for this question. Different people can have different answers for this question and they all can be correct as well, right? So is case mein there is no concrete answers. The answer mentioned is answers will vary except all appropriate and relevant responses, right? तो जहां पर आंसर है वहां पर आपको आंसर की यहाँ इस डॉक्यूमेंट में प्रोवाइड की जाए। Any questions? For all the participants who have joined a bit late, please mark your attendance. There is an attendance link in the chat box. आप अपनी अपनी अटेंडेंस मार्क कर दीजिएगा by clicking on that link, please. Chat box में there is a link that I have shared. If you are not able to access it, let me know. I can share it again.
Sir, I am from Jipmar Pondicherry,
जी मैम।
and I have a doubt if we, as these booklets are of multidisciplinary approach based, we
Yes
have
मैम।
multidisciplinary projects
Yes।
in our school, 2 terms we are giving. Can this be applied over there also, and it can be used?
I completely get your point, ma'am. I agree with your point, and this point has been raised by actually multiple HMs and multiple principals as well, and ma'am as well. We have taken this point into consideration. This point has been noted down, and we will ensure that we'll have a discussion with the RO. So
Thank you,
whatever
sir.
possible results can be done, we will try to do that. If the nature of the project is the same, it makes sense.
Because the questions are there in the PBL booklets are so wonderful
Yes.
that it can be well used.
Okay. I'll definitely put it forward, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. So let's move on to the last resource of this program, and that is the dashboard. So this is how the
Sorry to
interface of the
interrupt, sir,
dashboard.
but please, sir, send the link to mark the
Okay,
attendance, sir.
sure, sir, sure. Just give me a minute. I'll send the link again. Sir, I have reshared the link. Please go in the chat box and click on that link and mark your attendance. So this is how the interface of the dashboard looks like. The teachers, whoever are participating in this project, they get the credential. They have to sign in this dashboard, and they have to upload the data in this dashboard. Once the data has been uploaded, booklets of all the completed booklets, there is a progress report that gets generated of every student. So this is how the progress reports look like. Let me show you the actual report, because this is. Let me show you the progress report. Yeah. This is how the progress report looks like. So initially at the beginning, you can see the details of the student, and then activity wise, there are the analytics of the students performance. On the left side, you can see कि किस activity को, किस subject की activity को हमने integrate किया था और उसको किस learning outcome के साथ align किया था, and then what was the learner's performance level. जो हम rubrics में the criteria that we saw in the rubrics, those criteria were represented in the form of stars. So beginner, intermediate, advanced, proficient, वो सभी stars के through यहाँ पर represent किए गए हैं. Along with that, there are some specific descriptors as well about the student's performance. Right? For example, performance की हम बात कर रहे हैं, कौन सी skills वहां पर demonstrate हुई हैं, कौन सी values demonstrate हुई हैं. All those details, all those descriptors are also mentioned here in the description part of the student's performance with respect to that activity. Right? For example,
लोगों ने
कौन सा
प्रोजेक्ट यहाँ पे
concept
बना के लगाए हैं, वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस। एंड
uh,
आप लोगों का प्रोजेक्ट और नेक्स्ट लेवल में जाना चाहिए। और नेशनल लेवल तक सिलेक्शन होना चाहिए सब बच्चों में
Sir,
से,
can you
हमारे
please
बच्चों
mute
का, स्कूल के
yourself?
बच्चों का। लास्ट ईयर भी हमारे बच्चे रीजनल में भी गए, रीजनल में तो यहाँ से 5 प्रोजेक्ट्स भेजेंगे,
Okay.
6।
Actually, your voice is breaking. I couldn't know if you're talking to us or anybody else, sir. Okay. So there are some concerns in the chat box, sir. I am unable to access the link. Is it the case with everybody? क्या अटेंडेंस लिंक में सभी को इशू आ
Yes,
रहा है
sir.
और
Yes, sir. Not
you
able
have
to add.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
No,
sir.
I could able to fill the form.
okay, so some of
Attendance,
the
even if we
teachers
click,
are
it's
able
not
to fill the
opening.
form. Sir, you can try one thing. Whoever is facing the issue, just copy the link and try to open it with some other browser.
सर लिंक ही नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है सर।
लिंक दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है।
No, sir, it is opening.
Even
We are
I'm
able to
able to
fill.
copy also.
हम तो भर सकते हैं, sir. We are able to do.
Okay, if somebody can specifically tell me what issue they are facing, whoever is facing an issue, what is the interface that they are seeing?
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Sir, actually, it did not come like a link. It is come like just a text. That is the problem. It came
Okay.
like a text, not a link.
To me, it is going to Google, sir. Sign in Google and other
Yeah,
places.
that is what we are supposed to do, ma'am. That it is a Google form. It is a Google form. We have to mark our attendance in the Google form, and in order to mark your attendance, we have to first sign in with your mail ID. So that is completely normal. For anybody who is having this link in the form of text, आप click नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, please copy it and try to open it with other browser.
We are
At least
not
most
able
of
to
the
copy,
teachers have
sir.
marked their
We are not
attendance.
able to copy, sir,
Not able to copy.
in the Google.
And let me try again. Please give me. Please check again. Can you click it now? Okay, okay, let's do one thing. Whoever is not able to mark their attendance, please mention it in the chat. Whoever is not able to mark their attendance, please mention it in the chat. We will take the names from the chat. Okay, for now we will move on to the next part. So this is how the progress report of a student looks like in the PBL program. The dashboard that generates this progress report is in this format, which is displayed here, right? Okay. So this was all about the program project-based learning. If anybody has any question related to any of the structure, any of the stages,
सर नहीं आए क्या?
or any other question or suggestion, please let us know.
Say, I have a suggestion regarding PBL dashboard. Whenever
जी
we
ma'am.
fill for students assessment, we have to, now we are filling activity wise. So
Yes.
can it become like student wise? Because what is happening, each student, like for each activity, we are going through the booklets of all the students 40 times. So if it is
Yes.
student wise means one booklet we can fill for all the activities.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
we have,
This is true, sir.
I understand, ma'am, and we have taken this point as well, and this has been conveyed to the tech team already. So hopefully soon you will see that option as well. So you will see both the options, activity wise as well and student wise as well. Whichever approach you want to take in order to fill the data on dashboard, you can try to do that. So this has been conveyed to the tech team, and hopefully soon that option will be available in the dashboard.
Okay.
Okay. No other questions on the PPL? So just give me a thumbs up so that I can move ahead.
ये जो दीपक चौहान प्रेजेंट है वो कहाँ आ नहीं रहा है या ऐसे ही रहेगा?
जी
पहले
सर,
आ रहा था।
सर आप हमसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं? Okay, let's move on to the next project, the next program, which is the project inclusion. Anybody who would like to share their understanding, their idea about this program, the project inclusion?
Sir, this is Kalyani from KVIG. According to me, project inclusion, this is my understanding, is
जी मैम.
including children of different learning levels in one classroom setup, including children of different. Always the children of a classroom, it's a heterogeneous group. And sometimes in the normal curriculum, there is a danger of excluding some children. That is, some children don't participate in class, and there is a danger of what excluding such children from the normal this one. But the textbook and other activities should be so modified in such a way that every child is included. So it should be that is my understanding of project inclusion.
Thank you so much, Kalyani ma'am. That is a very comprehensive description of the project, of the program project inclusion. So very rightly said by ma'am. The aim of the project inclusion program is to bring everybody together, every student together, and to include everyone, no matter what difficulty, difficulty in learning any student is facing. To have an inclusive classroom जहां पर आप जो भी पढ़ा रहे हैं, you can accommodate all the student irrespective of any other difference that they might have, even in the difference they might have in the difficulty they are facing in learning as well. So project inclusion, as we have mentioned, different stages and structure of the program based learning, of the project based learning, I'm really sorry. The project inclusion also has a certain structure that we are going to discuss. Okay, so the flow chart that is on your screen basically shows the structure of the program project inclusion. The first step of this program is to orient teachers. We arrange an orientation session, an onboarding session, जहाँ पर teachers को बताया जाता है about this program of project inclusion. So we basically have a mobile app called PI app, right? And in that mobile app, everything is included. So the entire program can be basically accessed by the mobile app called Project Inclusion app. So all those details are given to the teachers of primary grades, whoever are, and secondary grades as well, whoever are taking care of the project inclusion. Basically, it's the responsibility of everybody, whatever you are teaching, the classroom that you have, to accommodate all the students, irrespective of their difficulty they might be facing in learning. So the first step of this program, basically, this program is divided into three phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. द फेज वन इज बेसिकली अ सेल्फ पेस्ड कोर्स, जिस मोबाइल ऐप को हमने अभी मेंशन किया है. इन दैट मोबाइल ऐप देयर आर सम मॉड्यूल्स, देयर इज अ 17 मॉड्यूल्स, एंड during those modules you can take those modules. It's basically of 20 minutes approximately each module, and you can go through those modules, and at the end of the module you can have to take the assessment. During that course, during that self-paced course, during those modules, the teachers get to sensitize about the diverse learning needs of the students, right? And once you clear all the modules, once you take the assessments, a certification is given to everybody who has completed the course. If you score above a certain benchmark, there is a different high achiever certification as well. So this is where the phase 1 completes, when you complete all the modules and take the assessments of the self-paced course of phase 1. Now the phase 2 is the screening part of the course, जहां पर आप practically जो भी doubtful students हैं आपके, उनको screen करते हैं. The phase 2 also has three different rounds, three different stages. The initial screening is the first stage. सबसे पहले initial screening होती है, जहां पर doubtful students की screening करते हैं teachers, and there is a questionnaire basically, जिसमें आपको according to the students observation उस questionnaire को answer करना होता है. And after that initial screening, some of the students get filtered out, while other move on to the next stage, who are still in question, who are still in doubt. Hemlata ma'am, do you have any question? If not, can you please mute yourself? So once the initial screening is done, Hemlata ma'am, you have to mute yourself, please. If there is any question, you can ask. Otherwise, the voice is getting echoed. Okay. So initial screening के बाद second round of screening में there are even more details that the teacher has to give about the students, and after the second round of screening there is a screening report that gets generated. We are going to have a look at that report in the next slide. उस screening report में teachers की students की सभी details रहती हैं जो भी teachers ने upload की है, right? जो भी questionnaire के time पे teacher ने answer की है, right? After the second round of training, the last round, the third round is called advanced screening. Specific details about the difficulty in learning that the student might be facing. तो वो क्या condition है specifically, you get to know after the advanced screening, right? So the students know about the difficulty in learning that the student might be facing. What should be the next step? Remedy, right? Now, obviously, you cannot have a separate classroom for students who might be facing some difficulty in learning. You have to try to accommodate all the students within that one classroom. So what you get after the advanced screening is the intervention plan. So in that PI app, you get the access of different intervention plan specific to the condition that the student has. तो जो भी डिफिकल्टी बच्चा फेस कर रहा है उस डिफिकल्टी के अकॉर्डिंगली दैट चाइल्ड स्पेसिफिक प्लान इज सजेस्टेड. उस इंटरवेंशन प्लान में देयर इज नो सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक और कॉन्सेप्ट स्पेसिफिक प्लान. ऐसा नहीं है कि अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट के लिए अलग अलग प्लान होंगे. दे आर बेसिकली सम कॉमन स्ट्रेटजीज दैट वी कैन एक्वायर, दैट द टीचर कैन एक्वायर नो मैटर व्हाट सब्जेक्ट द टीचर इज टीचिंग. हम एक इंटरवेंशन प्लान भी आगे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में देखने वाले हैं. सो दे आर बेसिकली द स्ट्रेटजीज इसको अक्वायर किया जा सकता है while टीचिंग सो दैट यू कैन अकोमोडेट ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स इन दैट वन क्लासरूम, right? If in case during the incorporation of the plan you face any difficulty, you have any question, you have any concern, we have periodic sessions of project inclusion, and you can always participate in those sessions, and you can address you can ask those questions and we will address those queries as well, right? So this is the structure of the program project inclusion. Any questions related to any of the stage? Shall we see the progress of the region in this project?
1 minute. So this is Sanil Kumar, Principal KVIAT.
Ji sir.
Actually, we have a special educator. Because our primary teachers are taking care of the other children, we have exclusively a special educator who takes care of these type of students. Can we ask her to do this phase one? Because she has the data. She has the data. Entire thing she knows it. How many students are there each class, and she's taking care of the children also. Even she prepares separate question paper for them to conduct the test and all as per their level.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, she can do it as well. Whoever is basically taking class of those students who have some difficulty, they have to take this screening, they have to do this screening. And even if one teacher is doing the screening, they can use the intervention plan, they can share the intervention plan with other teachers as well, if the common student is there in the class of other teachers as well, right? So they can do the screening as well.
Thank you, sir.
Let's have a look at the progress when it comes to project inclusion in the Chennai region. So the total number of teachers from Chennai regions who have registered in the project inclusion app is 1600, approximately 1700. Phase 1 जिन teachers ने complete कर लिया है is close to 2000. Across KVS region, the total number of teachers who have participated in the screening of students is close to 35,000, 34,500. The count of teachers in Chennai region who have performed the screening of the student is 1200. The count of students across KVS region who have been screened is 1,72,866, close to 18 lakh. Oh, sorry, 1,18,000. The count of students that have been screened in the Chennai region out of those students is 8,024. जो बच्चे हाई रिस्क पर पाए गए हैं उनका काउंट है 2,934, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 3,000. जिन टीचर्स ने एडवांस स्क्रीनिंग की है उनका काउंट है 912. जो बच्चों की एडवांस स्क्रीनिंग हुई है उनका काउंट है 3,386. And for these students who are at high risk, who are found with some difficulty level after the advanced screening, उन सभी के लिए intervention plan share किए गए हैं, और उन intervention plan का number है is 63,000 in the Chennai region itself. The number of plan is more because there might be multiple plans, multiple strategies for the one student which has been screened and found at high risk after the advanced screening. तो मल्टीपल प्लान्स भी हो सकते हैं एक बच्चे के लिए, अलग अलग कंडीशंस भी हो सकती हैं एक बच्चे की, मोर देन वन डिफिकल्टी लेवल भी हो सकता है. Having all those factor in mind, there are multiple plans that has been shared for that one student as well. That is why you see the number of intervention plan higher than the number of students who are at higher risk. Right, so this is the data which basically displays the progress of PI in your region, which is Chennai. Now the resources that we have talked about in the different stages of project inclusion program, let's first look at the screening report. So when we were talking about the phase 2, जहां पर screening होती है students की, within phase 2 there were 3 different rounds, 3 different stages. After the round 2, after the stage 2, there is a screening report that gets generated, and this is how the screening report looks like. So apart from the usual information of the student, the parent's name, the grade, the student's name, gender, phone number, residence, school, etc., the other
Sir,
information
no
which is
screen is
given with,
visible, sir. Excuse me. No screen is visible. Are you presenting any screen?
is
Are
my
you
screen
presenting?
visible to everybody?
No.
It is visible. For me,
Yes,
it
sir.
is.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
It's visible, sir.
Ma'am, it is visible to everyone. Please check your system. At any point, if there is any technical issue, whether my voice is inaudible or my screen is not visible, please let us know. Let me know.
Yes, sir. Now visible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So this is the other details which are there in the screening report. Obviously, these details are on the basis of the questionnaire that has been answered by the teacher with respect to that student. तो आपके क्लासरूम के ऑब्जर्वेशंस क्या है टीचर्स की, कौन कौन सी बच्चे की ऑब्जर्वेशन टीचर ने नोट की है, ऑब्जर्व की है, एडवांस स्क्रीनिंग के टाइम पे कौन सी ऑब्जर्वेशंस, कौन सी डिफिकल्टीज टीचर ने ऑब्जर्व की है, all those details are displayed here, all those details are listed here in the screening report. Apart from that, the strengths and abilities of the students are also displayed on the right side. बच्चे के academic performance में क्या क्या observation है. See, one student might be brilliant in one aspect while the student might be struggling in some other aspect. For example, यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे, the child face difficulty in identifying symbols.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I would like to just suggest one small thing that sorry to interrupt you in between.
Sure, sir. Sure, please.
This content and this materials we need once to be mailed to all our KV so that whoever missed out and and other people also can get to know about the content of it.
Yeah.
Knowing the content is more important to proceed further in this regard. So I would like you to share the content of this PPT and other contents also through mail to all the schools so that we can in depth have a reading and we can also go for an in-house training, sir. It will be useful for us.
Sure, sir. All the documents, including the. Can you please mute yourself, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Huh. So what I was saying is, all we are going to have some other look at some other documents as well, which is part of our third agenda, which includes the role and responsibility of both the teachers and the HMs. तो हम उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स भी देखने वाले हैं. All the documents, including the PPT, will be shared with everybody participating in this meeting, who is part of this meeting. आप सभी के साथ ये documents along with the PPT share किए जाएंगे once the session is completed. Right? So strengths and abilities are also listed about the student. As I was saying, the student might be brilliant in one aspect while the student might be struggling in some other aspect. The child facing difficulty in identifying symbol, but the child is a visual learner. राइट. सो ये सभी स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड वीकनेसेस भी लिस्टेड डाउन होंगी आपकी स्क्रीनिंग रिपोर्ट में. What are the interests of the students? What are the strengths of the students? What are the teachers' observation about the temperament of the students? So the screening reports list down all these things. This is the resource that you get from the PIF. And once the advanced screening is done and the result is high risk, the student is at high risk, the student has some difficulty in learning. For example, this is for ADHD. This kind of intervention plan will be generated for that particular student. For example, यहाँ पर concern जो है is that the student speaks before the question is finished, right? So the goal will be something that we are aiming for. क्या change चाहते हैं, क्या हम ultimate outcome चाहते हैं, that will be listed here in the goal. अब उस goal तक जाने के लिए how we can modify our classroom strategies, what little changes can we do? Those are mentioned in these two rows. The accommodation, accommodate कैसे कर सकते हैं आप, and then what steps can you take while teaching, right? So these are the different strategies which are listed within that one intervention plan, which is shared for a particular student, considering all the observation the teacher has uploaded about that student during the questionnaire, right? So this is the second resource which you get in the project inclusion program from the project inclusion app. Any questions till now? Any questions related to the program project inclusion before we move on to the next agenda? Okay. So we have talked about the two major programs that we've been doing in collaboration with Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Now, considering these two programs have been implemented in the Chennai region for quite some time now, what are those observations that you have regarding the challenges that you might have seen somebody facing while implementing these programs? कौन कौन से वो challenges हैं which you feel that the teachers or anybody else is facing or they might face while implementing these two programs?
सर समटाइम्स प्रोजेक्ट इंक्लूजन जो है पहला वो प्रॉपरली वर्क नहीं करता है। हमें डाटा अपलोडिंग में भी प्रॉब्लम देखने को मिलती है, और जो डाटा का सिंक्रोनाइजेशन है यानी कि अपडेट है ना, जो हमने डाटा फीड किया है वो भी हमें कभी कभी शो नहीं करता है, रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करता है उस प्लेटफॉर्म को।
Sorry. Sir, you were talking about the project inclusion app, right?
यस सर, यस सर।
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for the point, sir. I will definitely note it down and put it forward for the tech team. If you are facing such issue that there is some glitch and you're unable to access the app.
एंड
Any
सर वन
other?
मोर थिंग,
Yes.
वन मोर थिंग इज देयर कि लास्ट ईयर जो भी हमने स्टूडेंट्स का स्क्रीनिंग किया था, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर जब बच्चे वो नेक्स्ट क्लास में चले जाते हैं ना, तो
हाँ
उनका
जी।
स्क्रीनिंग कौन करेगा? क्योंकि टीचर सारे सफल हो जाते हैं,
हम्म।
हेड ऑफ टीचर्स भी हैं वो भी चेंज हो जाते हैं, तो पुराने टीचर्स को आइडिया रहता है तो उसको हम कंटिन्यू करना भी एक प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है हमारे
Okay.
लिए।
Okay. So you are saying that the students who have already been screened, उनको दोबारा से
यस
जो
सर।
नेक्स्ट ग्रेड में जाएंगे तो they have to be screened again, which is an additional task, right?
एंड दैट इज वो जो है वो नए टीचर्स के द्वारा किया जा रहा है, तो उनके पास प्रॉपर बैकग्राउंड नहीं है, हिस्ट्री नहीं है उस स्टूडेंट की कि लास्ट ईयर हमने क्या स्क्रीन किया था और किस बेसिस पे हम उसे अगेन स्क्रीन करें।
Okay. ठीक है। Any other
तो
concern?
अगर उसमें, यस सर, अगर हम उसमें रिमार्क्स ऐड कर सकें या हिस्ट्री ऐड कर सकें उसकी बच्चे की, पोर्टफोलियो टाइप का ऐड कर सकें तो इट विल बी मोर हेल्पफुल।
तो सर वो टीचर्स फॉर एग्जांपल इफ द स्टूडेंट इज अपग्रेडेड टू द हायर ग्रेड, जो उस नए ग्रेड के टीचर्स एक्सेस नहीं कर पाते हैं बच्चे की हिस्ट्री।
एक्चुअली सर स्टाफ चेंज हो जाता है, एक्चुअली वी हैव मोर एड हॉक टीचर्स, तो एवरी ईयर स्टाफ चेंज, so they don't
बट
know
आप
about the
प्रोजेक्ट इंक्लूजन
student।
ऐप पर तो इफ इवन इफ द स्टाफ इज चेंज, प्रोजेक्ट इंक्लूजन ऐप पर तो आप हिस्ट्री चेक कर पाएंगे बच्चे की।
अच्छा सर, आई विल चेक सर।
So this is the
एनी अदर
issue,
क्वेश्चन, एनी अदर?
actually, the same issue that sir told. I was teaching in the fifth standard last year, and now the students are shifted to sixth standard. They are
यशस्वी मैम,
promoted to
योर
sixth
वॉइस
standard.
इज ना योर वॉइस इज very breaking in between and you're not clear.
Okay, okay, wait. Sir, I'm telling now the voice is clear.
Yes, please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm telling that last year I taught in class sixth standard. Okay, I did screening, and now the students are promoted to sixth standard. That is the issue that sir told recently. That the screening that we know the history about all the students, but when they promoted to other standards or next standard, it is difficult because we know the history. The other teachers they don't know; they are new to them.
Ma'am, they can go through if the students are already screened and there is a screening report of that student. Even if the teacher is new to that student, they can go through the screening report to get the idea about the student's learning ability. I think that is the purpose of screening report. Even if the teacher is changed, they can at least refer to the screening report of that student कि ये history रहा है बच्चे का previous grade में, previous year में, right? That is why the screening report has comprehensively listed all the criteria, all the pointers, कि उसको कोई भी देख सके.
Sometimes it feels difficult to. I think this is the issue that I faced.
See, I have noted it down, but I feel that if there is a screening report, that is the reason why the screening report is generated, ताकि बच्चे की जो भी observations एक टीचर ने क्वेश्चनियर में आंसर की हैं, वो एक documented form में आपके पास रहे, even if you want to check after a certain amount of time as well, whether the student has made some progress as well. तो वो screening report can be shared with anybody who is going to take care of that student, even if in higher grades. Last year, last grade, and they can have some sort of context about that student. They can compare it with the student's performance in the current session, right? But I still noted it down. I'll see what more can we do within the app. That is something is in our hand. The modification or enhancement we can make in the app with that particular point. We will try to have a discussion on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, were we aware about these programs equally before joining the session? We expect every teacher is aware about these programs? Do they have the equal understanding about these programs, the structures, the role they are supposed to play? Anybody?
Excuse me, sir. I want to share something. Like
Yes, ma'am, please go
previously,
ahead.
we know about project inclusion, even we did. But I think there is a more time gap between screening of the students and getting the screening report and advanced screening. So the time is
Mm-hmm.
more. If it can be if it can be do timely, so within that year we can complete or we can take measures for the students.
You're
Because
talking about
previous
the time
time
gap between the screening and screening report, or the screening and advanced screening?
screening and advanced screening.
Okay.
Because previous
How
year
much?
also screening report like we are in a blur, like we didn't get the screening report, we didn't know what to do after that. Advanced screening also we got the message very late, like in the app if we can get it, like okay, we screened for these students, they need advanced screening, if we can get it earlier.
Okay, okay. I have noted it down, ma'am. I'll see why it happened. It should not have happened. It must be a rarity. If there was a gap between the two rounds of phase two, the two different screenings, I will definitely put it forward to the tech team.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So let's have a look at the challenges that might be one of the reason that might impact the effective implementation, that might be affecting already the effective implementation of these two programs. The first one is the limited awareness of the program. See, some of us, obviously, most of us have the understanding of these programs, but there are teachers who are actually playing a very crucial role on ground, and it is very important to have a thorough understanding of these programs, of the structure of the program, what is the ultimate aim of these programs, what the teachers are supposed to do, what everybody is supposed to do at any stage of the programs. The first thing is to have the complete awareness of the program. If the awareness is limited, that can be a roadblock in implementation of these programs. Now, if the understanding is limited, if the awareness is limited, there can be a case of inconsistent implementation as well. हो सकता है कि एक क्लास टीचर अपनी क्लास में पीबीएल को बहुत अच्छे से implement कर रहा है, while there is some other class teacher who is not doing it so effectively, and there might be multiple reasons for that. राइट? उसका रीजन एक लिमिटेड अवेयरनेस या अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी हो सकता है, और कोई और रीजन भी हो सकता है। समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव सीन दैट कि ओरिएंटेशन हो गया है ऑनलाइन, अभी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ट्रेनिंग नहीं हुआ है, सो इट इज पॉसिबल दैट द कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हु वर पार्ट ऑफ द ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम ऑनलाइन, they have the thorough understanding and they are implementing the program very consistently in their classrooms, but the other teachers they maybe वहां पर जब लर्निंग ट्रांसफर हुई होगी उसमें गैप रहा होगा, और बाकी के टीचर्स जो है शायद उन प्रोग्राम्स को उतना कंसिस्टेंटली इंप्लीमेंट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और रिजल्ट ये होगा कि द स्टूडेंट हु इज पार्ट ऑफ द क्लासरूम ऑफ डिफरेंट टीचर्स विल हैव डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंस। कुछ एक केस में उसका एक्सपीरियंस अलग होगा बिकॉज दैट टीचर इज इम्प्लीमेंटिंग द प्रोग्राम इफेक्टिवली, एंड सम अदर टीचर्स माइट नॉट बी इम्प्लीमेंटिंग इट दैट इफेक्टिवली, राइट? सो स्टूडेंट एक्सपीरियंस भी वेरी कर सकता है, एंड द रीजन इज द इनकंसिस्टेंट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इन द पार्ट ऑफ द टीचर। Now, to ensure कि implementation consistent हो, monitoring is very important. If there is insufficient monitoring and if there is no timely intervention, then that can be a roadblock in the implementation of these programs as well. So monitoring is very important in order to ensure that everybody is doing it consistently. Monitoring not from the point of scrutinizing feedback and giving right kind of suggestions and ideas so that everybody can be on the same page, right? Many a times you might see कि एक teacher जो है is using some practices which is making the classroom very inclusive or which is making the classroom very experiential. Every student is enjoying the classroom. You can observe those practice and you can share those practice with some other teachers as well, and that is where the monitoring plays a very important role, right? So we, as the leaders of the schools, the HMs, we have to play this role of monitoring. It is very important. And to monitor what the teachers are doing, how the teachers are doing, firstly, it is very important to know what are the roles and responsibility of the teachers when it comes to these two programs. So
Sir,
when we
one
talk
more
about these,
thing. Sir,
Hanji,
yes, somebody has written also one more thing, sir. Yes,
ma'am.
we will try to get. See, we are not having specific period to complete these projects because it is not about PBL and PI. It is also about LAT, Tara, and in-house exam and activities and all. But the problem with the PBL, I found yes, we took time and apart from the syllabus, we are covering these activities. But after that, we have to do a lot of clerical work in it. So we are having limited time up to 240, but it is very difficult to complete this task in the school hours, and again to grab some time to fill this clerical activities, and also it at that time it becomes quite depressing whether we should do means that's why we are unable means I am unable to deliver good work within a limited span of time. We have to do that. And yes, in PBL means one child, hundreds of data we have to fill like that without doing mistakes and all. So I found very difficult in that.
Okay, I'll try to break your question or your concern into two parts, ma'am. The first part is implementation or incorporation of PBL activities, and the second part is uploading the data into the dashboard, right? Which one is the concern?
Sir, uploading the data, and again with the means apart from the syllabus, again we have to engage some different kind of activity because we have already instructed you. We have to
Mm-hmm.
convert our teaching syllabus into the play-based method, and we are converting our that thing, and we are doing it well. But again, these things will come now. Again, we have to design. Again, we have to conduct meeting for that, so that everything will work in a good way. So different for LAT, again we have to follow the different type of strategy like that. So it is becoming so haphazard. Means what should we focus like that? Means uh, I feel you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I understand that it can be a very challenging task, man. I completely understand it's a super
So,
common job, especially for people who are working on ground. See, when it comes to activities or PBL activities, you can, as I said earlier, you don't have to conduct separate classes for that. You have to find a way to integrate those activities within your classroom. इसीलिए आपको कॉन्सेप्ट मैपिंग शीट उसके साथ दिया गया है कि आप अपनी क्लास में जो भी आप प्लान करके जा रहे हैं उसी का एक पार्ट उस एक्टिविटी या उस टास्क को बना लें. When it comes to data entry, I understand that it can be a hectic job. One of the teacher has mentioned that, especially when you have to upload the data for activity wise, that can be a hectic job. For example, sometimes what you are doing is, as some of the teachers have mentioned, that they have the booklet of the students, but they have to
So
do it
sorry to
activity wise, so
interrupt.
it becomes difficult.
So
So
sorry to
what
interrupt.
will, ji ma'am.
It is very hectic to enter the data from the phone, and it is not possible that my all the staff is having laptop. Again, it is not possible that all the teacher will go in the computer lab, because again systems are limited and all. So we have to give extra time for that. Means um the specific place. If somebody is having tab and all, so they will sit and on the place and they can do, but again they have to leave the place. So it is also taking our free time, or in which we can think and we can redesign our new activities. Now in that time we are not thinking anything new, we are not doing any innovation, but there at that time we are doing clerical work, going in the computer lab, principal office, we are fighting for the computer. No, I have to do, no, I have to do, like that. So it is so hectic.
Okay.
So moreover, in classes 1 and 2, there is teachers, two subjects teachers, the student can study them.
I'm really sorry,
Whereas
ma'am, but your
in
voice
3,
is breaking and we are not able to hear you clearly.
so in classes 1 and 2, there is two subjects being handled by one teacher, but in classes 3, 4, 5, only one subject is being handled by the class teacher. So the data that we are able to give may not be accurate because we are not able to judge the child properly. Not much of time is given for studying the child. So the points that the teacher gives may or may not be correct because it is not a thorough study from 8:30 to 2:40.
I didn't get the concern completely because of the lack of, if somebody else can convey the ma'am's concern, if they were able to hear her properly. Okay, see, ma'am, जो आपके
Actually,
points
what
थे,
madam wants, sir. Actually, what
जी,
madam wants to convey is, in first and second, maybe one teacher is taking two subjects, she'll get more time to devote for the child. But in 3 to 5, each subject different teacher is handling. So the way that particular teacher assesses a child based on that whatever it is may or may not be correct with respect to the other teacher. It may differ. It may not be accurate. Because different teachers are handling and they don't have that much time also to, because different teachers are going, they don't have that much time to spend with that particular child. This is what madam wanted to convey.
see, if it's about the inconsistency or the subjectivity of the evaluation of students because of different brains involved in the process, जो हम the program that we are currently talking about is project based learning, and during the project based learning one of the resource we talked about was rubrics. So rubrics का purpose ही subjectivity को eliminate करना है मैम. Rubrics में the teacher doesn't evaluate student based on their criteria. The teacher has to evaluate the student on the given criteria on the rubric. So no matter who the teacher is, उन्हें उन given criteria पर ही बच्चे को evaluate करके उसके performance को note down करना होगा. Right? So there is no scope of subjectivity because of those particular criteria which are predetermined, pre-specified. तो subjectivity का scope वहां पर नहीं है. Coming to ma'am's question, see, when it comes to data entry, what we can do is we can try to explore ways, as one of the suggestions has already come in the beginning of the session, in the approach of uploading data on the dashboard. So we can explore those ways जो कि आपके dashboard entries को थोड़ा easy बनाएगा. Secondly, if there are not enough pieces, if there are not enough resources, ma'am, you can just note it down. You can note down or you can comment down your school's name, KV's name. We can put forward your concern with respect to the resources or the lack of resources present in your school. Right? So if you are facing कि resources की वजह से PBL hamper हो रहा है and dashboard पर entries timely नहीं हो रही हैं, you can put forward your case. You can mention it in the comment. We will definitely address it.
सर एक चीज सर, हम लोग पीबीएल और प्रोजेक्ट इंक्लूजन में के ज्यादातर यही सीखते हैं कि बच्चा करके सीखता है और हम कोशिश भी करते हैं, बट व्हाट आई फील कि अगर हम कुछ नए तरीके से बच्चों के लिए एक स्पेशल एक्टिविटी कंडक्ट करते हैं तो वो और उसको एंजॉय करता है। तो क्या ये औरबिंदो सोसाइटी की तरफ से नहीं हो सकता कि वो महीने में मतलब आपकी कोई ऐसी टीम हो जो महीने में 2-3 दिन का ऐसा शेड्यूल करें, जो हर स्कूल में विजिट करें और स्पेसिफिक कुछ डेज कंडक्ट कराएं और वो डेटा फिर हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करें कि हाँ कि नवंबर मंथ में ये एक्टिविटी हुई और ऐसा हुआ, तो वो तो बहुत अच्छा हमें रिजल्ट देगा, बिकॉज
मैम,
पेपर वर्क
project based learning is not an occasional approach. Project based learning is a regular approach. This is something that should be part of the regular
actually
curriculum.
actually we are following this in our education system, like if we are teaching one chapter जैसे कि मेरा बचपन था, that there we are dealing on every step कि project based learning हम लोग डील कर रहे हैं। but what I am saying कि अगर हम लोग कुछ ऐसा करें कि नहीं कि हमें पता चले कि आज बाहर से लोग आएंगे और ऐसी एक्टिविटी होंगी, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली औरबिंदो सोसाइटी हम लोग के लिए बहुत कुछ कर रहा है, डेली एक नई चीज ला रहा है, तो बेहतर अगर बच्चों को लगे कि उनके पास कोई आ रहा है और एक नई चीज एक्टिविटी होंगी, रिसोर्सेज आप लेकर आ रहे हैं, इक्विपमेंट्स आप लेकर आते हैं, और तो उनके लिए बहुत अच्छा एक लविंग और वैसा एनवायरनमेंट होगा कि समथिंग विल बी न्यू। जैसे हम लोग हाइकिंग के लिए बच्चों को ले जाते हैं, दे एंजॉय, दे लर्न लाइक दैट। सो आई बिलीव कि एक ऐसी ऑफलाइन विजिट आप लोग की तरफ से स्कूल्स में होनी चाहिए, जिससे और इंटरेस्ट डेवलप हो और शायद काफी चीजें से एलिमिनेट भी हो सकती है।
Thank you so much, ma'am. I have definitely written it down in the suggestion part. So I'll make sure I put it forward, the suggestion of the offline visit with some resources so that the student can have the a different kind of experience during that trip, right? During that visit. Okay, let's quickly, because we have less time left now, let's quickly have a look at the teacher's role and responsibility. This is important for both the teachers and the HMs to know, because if they are going to monitor, they should be well aware with the teacher's responsibilities. So majorly, we have divided the teacher's role and responsibility when it comes to implementation of these two projects, these two programs into three parts. The first one is the implementation and facilitation. Now, in the implementation and facilitation part में जैसा हमने पहले बात किया है कि आपकी अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट की एक्टिविटीज को आप इंटीग्रेट करेंगे सब्जेक्ट टीचर्स, सो द टाइमली कंप्लीशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग बुकलेट्स वो तभी इंश्योर होगा इफ एवरी सब्जेक्ट टीचर इज डूइंग देयर पार्ट ऑन द टाइम, right? The second responsibility is to record booklet details and dashboard entries. This is the role of the class teacher. Class teacher जब भी booklet complete होता है, उसका जो भी data है, उसको dashboard पर upload करना, उनको entries को upload करना, that is the class teacher's role and responsibility, right? When it comes to PI, project inclusion, we have to ensure that every student is accommodated in the classroom. जो भी intervention plan आपको मिला है, उनकी strategies को आप अपने usual lesson plan में, usual classroom practices में integrate करें, ताकि जो भी आप पढ़ा रहे हैं within that one classroom under that same roof, students who are actually having some challenges or difficulty in learning can also be accommodated, right? Apart from this, overall, for all the students, to guide them, to support them, and also to encourage and motivate them throughout their learning process, this is also a very fundamental responsibility of the teacher. Let's move on to the next major responsibility: showcasing and engagement. Now, showcasing and engagement, when we talk about showcasing, जब भी booklet complete हुआ है, the class teacher should organize a showcasing event जहां पर parents को भी invite किया जाना चाहिए, ताकि parents should see their students work, whatever they have done during that PBL, during that booklet, and also their progress card, उनका क्या progress cards है, उनकी क्या strengths है, उनकी क्या values और skills उन्होंने exhibit की है. Many a times you will see within the booklets you will have a lot of creative work as well. So if there is some creative works, origami hai, ya say there is some model making or any other artistic work, you can also display that. So along with the completed booklet, along with the progress card and any creative work, it should be displayed in the showcasing events to the parents as well. Now, during that event, to capture a few photos and videos, and we will later talk about where to upload it, to capture a few photos and videos, that is one of the responsibility of the teacher, right? And lastly, what is the attendance, what is the feedback of the parent? तो एक अटेंडेंस एंड फीडबैक का डॉक्यूमेंट होगा, एज आई सेड अर्लियर, जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स होंगे, जितने भी फॉर्मेट्स होंगे, उनके टेम्पलेट्स, उनकी स्ट्रक्चर, उनके डॉक्यूमेंट हमारी तरफ से प्रोवाइड किए जाएंगे. सो देयर विल बी वन डॉक्यूमेंट ऑन विच द क्लास टीचर हैज टू टेक द पेरेंट्स फीडबैक एंड अटेंडेंसेस. उसमें जो भी चेकलिस्ट होगी, जो भी क्राइटेरियाज होंगे, जो भी पॉइंटर्स होंगे, वो ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड डाउन होंगे. द पेरेंट्स हैज टू सिंपली शेयर देयर फीडबैक in that during that showcasing event, right? So this is the showcasing and engagement part of the responsibility of the teacher. Lastly, the documentation. So it is teacher's role to display, top 5 and bottom 5 project based learning booklets to the HM, right? हेडमिस्ट्रेस और हेडमास्टर को ड्यूरिंग दैट क्वार्टर कौन से वो 5 बेस्ट और कौन से वो 5 बॉटम के पीबीएल बुकलेट्स थे वो एचएम्स को दिखाना इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द टीचर. एट द सेम टाइम 5 बेस्ट बुकलेट्स की स्कैन्स और फोटोज को अपलोड करना इन द इमेज गैलरी. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट द पिक्चर इन द लास्ट स्लाइड, इन द लास्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. यहाँ पर भी आपकी कुछ पिक्चर्स होंगी बट यहाँ पर बुकलेट्स की पिक्चर्स होंगी जिनको इमेज गैलरी में अपलोड करना इज द टीचर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, right? Then there will be a report, again a document will be provided to prepare and submit a quarterly PBL report with all the data and evidence. उस क्वार्टर के बीच में जो भी डेटा टीचर ने रिकॉर्ड किया, जो भी एविडेंसेस रिकॉर्ड किए हैं, उसका एक डॉक्यूमेंट दिया जाएगा. उस डॉक्यूमेंट में जो भी उस क्वार्टर में टीचर्स ने डेटा और एविडेंसेस को रिकॉर्ड किया है उसको मेंशन करके एक क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट को सबमिट करवाना इज आल्सो द क्लास टीचर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. Right now, if the teacher is designated as the program coordinator, they should also follow, they should also attend the SAS, the Shri Aurobindo Society follow up meetings. So जब भी फ्यूचर में इस तरह की मीटिंग शेड्यूल की जाएंगी, नीड बेस्ड सेशंस शेड्यूल किए जाएंगे, so it's the program coordinator's responsibility to attend those sessions as well. Right, so this was all about the teacher's role and responsibility. Now let's have a look at the leadership's role for effective implementation. Now, when I say leadership, I'm talking about the school leadership, which is HMs in this case. So when we are going for monitoring, हमने एक one of the reason, one of the roadblock जो discuss किया था was the insufficient monitoring. तो जब हम monitor करने जाएंगे अपने classrooms में या फिर showcasing events में या फिर किसी और stage में, what are our roles and responsibility? What are we supposed to do? Let's have a look at that as well. Again, just like teachers, we have divided the responsibility into major 4 categories. The first one is the observation. हमने पीबीएल क्लासरूम के बारे में बात की है. सम ऑफ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ अ पीबीएल क्लासरूम इज कि वो जॉयफुल होगा, एक्सपीरियंशियल होगा, मीनिंगफुल होगा, राइट? सो वो सभी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के बेसिस पर ऑब्जर्व करना उन क्लासरूम्स को, दैट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द लीडर्स ऑफ द एचएम्स. सो ऑब्जर्व 2 to 3 पीबीएल क्लासेस पर टीचर फॉर स्टूडेंट एंगेजमेंट. इंगेज कैसे कर रहे हैं बच्चे, टीचर्स कैसे फैसिलिटेट कर रहे हैं. तो हर क्वार्टर में किसी एक टीचर की 2-3 पीबीएल क्लासेस आपको ऑब्जर्व करनी है. इसका ऑब्जर्वेशन डॉक्यूमेंट भी वी विल प्रोवाइड. ऑल द चेकलिस्ट क्राइटेरियाज एंड द पॉइंटर्स विल बी मेंशन्ड ऑन दैट डॉक्यूमेंट. यू सिंपली हैव टू राइट डाउन योर ऑब्जर्वेशन इन दैट. सेकेंड इज ऑब्जर्व शोकेसिंग इवेंट. हमने शोकेसिंग इवेंट की बात की जहां पर बच्चे की परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ दैट बुकलेट, बच्चे की प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट, बच्चे की क्रिएटिव वर्क्स को डिस्प्ले किया जाएगा. तो उस शोकेसिंग इवेंट्स में भी एचएम्स रहेंगे एंड दे विल ऑब्जर्व द प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, दे विल ऑब्जर्व द इंटरेक्शन ऑफ द टीचर विद द पेरेंट्स, पेरेंट्स का फीडबैक क्या है. सो ऑल दैट हैज टू बी ऑब्जर्व्ड एज वेल. अगेन अ डॉक्यूमेंट विल बी प्रोवाइडेड फॉर दिस एज वेल. लास्टली पीआई की जो हम बात कर रहे थे, दे शुड एचएम्स व्हेन दे आर गोइंग इनटू द क्लासरूम टू ऑब्जर्व, दे शुड बी वेल फेमिलियर विद किस क्लासरूम में कौन से और कितने नंबर स्टूडेंट का है जो कि डिफिकल्टी फेस करते हैं, so that you can see, so that you can assess whether those students are being accommodated effectively. क्या उनको इंक्लूड किया जा रहा है, क्या इंटरवेंशन स्ट्रेटजीज को यूज किया जा रहा है. To know that, you have to first know who are those students, what is the number of those students who have some learning difficulty, and to monitor those inclusion principles and incorporation of the strategies. That is another responsibility which falls under the observation category of the role and responsibility of the HMs. Right? Now evaluation, हमने टीचर्स के रोल एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी में डिस्कस किया था कि अ टीचर विल प्रेजेंट 5 टॉप एंड 5 बॉटम बुकलेट्स टू द एचएम. एचएम का काम है उन बुकलेट्स को रिव्यू करना. ऑल्सो जो भी इमेज गैलरी में टीचर्स एविडेंसेस डाल रहे हैं इन फॉर्म्स ऑफ पिक्चर्स, इन फॉर्म्स ऑफ द स्कैन्स ऑफ द बुकलेट्स, to evaluate their quality and relevance also. That is also another role that the HM has to play. Now see, जी मैम प्लीज
Sorry
प्लीज
to interrupt. Sir, some teachers by mistake they have filled the date wrong when submitting the activities. So they are asking, ma'am, can we change? But it is currently they are not able to change the date.
You're talking about the dashboard entries, ma'am?
Yes, the add student activity section. Na?
Okay, so the
There.
date that has been mentioned, it is wrong, right?
Means you will have to change the month also. Na? By mistake they have put If they conducted the activity on 13th of October, they have placed it in 13th of November.
Okay.
Like
Ma'am,
that.
can you please mention your school name?
PM Shri KV Dharmapuri.
Okay, ma'am, I have noted down your point. I will see what we can do. And see, जो भी आपके questions हैं, जिसको मैं note
Excuse me,
down
sir.
कर रहा हूँ, just a
Excuse
minute,
me, sir.
रीना मैम, just a minute.
Ah,
So
okay,
we
sir.
can have जो भी आपने questions पूछे हैं, जो भी concerns raise किए हैं, we can have the discussion on it in the follow-up session. I will raise these points with the appropriate teams, right? Yes, Reena ma'am, please go ahead. Reena ma'am, you were saying something?
Yes, sir. Actually, in my school, same problem, sir. There is mistake in date, sir. Month, especially in month.
Okay. Okay.
How we
ठीक है,
will
आप
edit, sir?
okay.
इसी
Can
तरह
you
हम
okay,
उसे
Reena ma'am, can you mention
हाँ
your KV?
हाँ PM श्री केंद्रीय विद्यालय मीनम बाकम, सर.
Meenam?
मीनम बाकम.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I have noted it down. We will have a discussion on this, right?
Thank you, sir.
So the last role, okay, we are on the third role and responsibility. I'm sorry. The interaction part. See, PBL, जब हम PBL की description के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, it was about the joyful, experiential, meaningful learning. So it is very important to know the students' experience as well. How are they feeling? What is their feedback, right? So HM can engage in random student interaction to understand their PBL experiences. उनका क्या experience है इन activities को लेकर, इन task को लेकर जो classroom में करवाई जा रहे हैं by their subject teachers, right? Now, based on all those observation, आपने classroom भी observe किया है, आपने parents से भी बात की है, आपने students से भी बात की है, you can always provide some constructive and helpful feedback to the teacher post observation. राइट. एज आई सेड अर्लियर, यू माइट हैव सीन, आप हो सकता है कि आप ऑब्जर्व करें कि एक क्लास टीचर ने बहुत कुछ अच्छी प्रैक्टिसेस फॉलो की हैं जो कि बहुत सिंपल हैं बट बहुत इफेक्टिव है. यू कैन ऑलवेज शेयर दोस प्रैक्टिसेस विद अदर टीचर्स एज वेल. और इफ यू फाइंड सर्टेन गैप्स, अगर आपको कुछ सर्टेन गैप्स दिखते हैं तो आप उसके बारे में भी टीचर को फीडबैक दे सकते हैं, विच शुड बी कंस्ट्रक्टिव. द टीचर कैन यूज दैट फीडबैक इन ऑर्डर टू improve their classroom, right? Okay. Lastly, ensure SAS program coordinators attend monthly follow-up meeting with the SAS team. Obviously, it is the responsibility of the program coordinator to attend the monthly follow-up meeting, but to ensure they are doing so, I think HM should also play an important role in that as well. Let's talk about the last category, which is the documentation. Again, for all the documentation, the supporting documents as a resource will be provided by us. So in those given documents, the HM has to record observation using the provided documents. They have to submit the compiled report and evidence to the principal each quarter. जो भी आपका observation है, जो भी आपका data analysis है, उसके accordingly आप उसमें reports में entries fill करेंगे और उन्हें principal sir या ma'am को quarter wise आप submit करेंगे. एंड ऑब्वियसली रिपोर्ट सबमिट करना इज नॉट द अल्टीमेट मोटिव. अल्टीमेट मोटिव इसकी उस रिपोर्ट्स के एनालिटिक्स के बाद जो भी मॉडिफिकेशंस आप कर सकते हैं उसको लेकर डिस्कशन करना इज आल्सो द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. सो कंडक्ट क्वार्टरली रिव्यू मीटिंग्स विद द प्रिंसिपल्स. क्या चेंजेस किए जा सकते हैं, कौन सी अच्छी प्रैक्टिसेस है, ऑल दैट कैन बी डिस्कस्ड इन दिस मीटिंग विद द प्रिंसिपल, राइट? So these were all the roles and responsibilities that we have discussed for the leadership as well as the teachers. Let's quickly go through the documents क्योंकि बहुत सारे stages पर I mentioned a few documents जो कि observation record करने के लिए, data record करने के लिए जरूरी होंगे. So what are those documents which will be provided by us as a reference, which can be helpful for both the teachers and the leaderships? So जो की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हमने अभी डिस्कस की हैं ऑफ बोथ द एचएम्स एंड द टीचर्स, दैट इज द फर्स्ट डॉक्यूमेंट दैट यू विल गेट आफ्टर द सेशन इन द मेल. पीआरटी क्लास टीचर क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट. हमने रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डिस्कस करते हुए टीचर का वन ऑफ द रोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देखा था कि दे हैव टू प्रिपेयर अ क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दीज टू प्रोग्राम्स. तो पीबीएल को लेकर, पीआई को लेकर जो भी उनके ऑब्जर्वेशन, जो भी उनके एनालिटिक्स है, उनको रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए देयर इज अ डॉक्यूमेंट कॉल्ड क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट. Thirdly, PRT क्लास टीचर्स पेरेंट्स अटेंडेंस शीट, शोकेसिंग इवेंट्स के टाइम पर जो अटेंडेंस और फीडबैक आप पेरेंट्स से लेंगे, उसके लिए फॉर्मेट होगा, उसके लिए जो स्ट्रक्चर होगा, दैट इज कॉल्ड PRT क्लास टीचर पेरेंट्स अटेंडेंस शीट. Now, HM, the first role of the HM was to observe a few classes of PBL and also include the PI principles and strategies. उसके लिए जो document होगा, that is HM classroom observations. शोकेसिंग इवेंट के टाइम पर HMs जो ऑब्जर्व करेंगे, जो रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, उसके लिए द डॉक्यूमेंट इज HM observation. And obviously, during the role and responsibility, one of the responsibility was to create and to submit the quarterly report from the HM, and that is also another document that will be provided. प्रिंसिपल सर्स क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट, उसमें जो जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस जाएंगी, डेटा जाएगा, जो कंपाइलेशन होगी, दैट फॉर्मेट, दैट स्ट्रक्चर विल आल्सो बी प्रोवाइडेड. And lastly, the quarterly report from the RO as well. You might not have to do anything with it, but just to see the bigger picture, all these documents will be provided with all of you at the end of the session, after the session, in the mail. Please go through these documents whenever you receive them. जो भी details हैं, जो भी criteria हैं, checklist हैं, pointers हैं, please go through every criteria very thoroughly. Go through every document very thoroughly. जो भी आपके doubts हैं, concerns हैं, suggestions हैं, वो आप note down कर सकते हैं. In the follow-up session, what we will do is we will start the session with a quiz. Right? तो एक क्विज से शुरू करेंगे, and the quiz will obviously be about these documents only. The purpose of the quiz is to know कि कुछ common concerns या कुछ common ambiguity या gray areas तो नहीं है. If there are any such areas, we will address those areas. Right? So please make sure you go through these documents, because the quiz that is going to happen, everybody is interested in the result of that quiz. Even RO is interested. So please make sure जो भी आपके doubts हैं, वो भी आप लिख लीजिएगा, और इन documents को आप clearly एक बार go through कर लीजिएगा before the follow-up session. Now, so we do have 5 to 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, if you have any doubts regarding any of the program or any other agenda, if you have any suggestion, please feel free to unmute yourself and share that.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
I'm Mrs. Arul Selvi from PM Shri KV OCF. I just wanted to know when we will be receiving booklet 2 for quarter 3 and 4, and what will be the
Okay.
target date for the submission in the dashboard.
Okay. So, ma'am, I think we have already shared the booklets to the RO. I will still check and I will let you know in the follow-up session. But I think RO के साथ it should have been shared already with the RO, and the booklet should receive you in a few days. But I will still check with my team, with our team, and I'll let you know in the follow-up session about the booklets, right? For quarter
Thank
3
you.
and 4. Is this the case with every school?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir,
we
we
did
have not
receive.
received.
Anybody who has received it?
Yes, we have not received second term.
Okay. Then if everybody is on the same page, then we definitely check with our team, and I'll definitely give you clarity on the booklets of quarter 3 and 4 in the follow-up session.
Hello, sir. We
Hello,
actually
ma'am.
received the booklets for quarter 1 and 2 in late September, when we were having our half yearly exams and giving students MDP and all that. So we conducted the activities uh, related to the particular theme earlier, like in April, whenever as per the syllabus is there. So
Mhm.
accordingly, we conducted the activities. And so when the booklets we received, we had to again assign certain time to that activity and conduct. So it will be better if we can get them fairly early in the coming session.
I understand, ma'am, and it should not have happened. I don't know what is the reason behind it. I will definitely have a discussion on that, but it should not have happened. It must be a rarity. I can ensure you that going forward, you will definitely receive these booklets on time, because the booklets are not occasional thing. These are to be integrated with your subject in on a regular day. So जब भी आप quarter wise जो भी आप पढ़ा रहे हैं, उन कंटेंट मटेरियल के साथ ही इन एक्टिविटीज को इंटीग्रेट करना होता है. So I will definitely raise this concern, and this should not happen in future.
Sir, excuse me. Sir, you have
Yes,
given
ma'am.
the PRT class teacher quarterly report, HM classroom observation, quarterly report. उसके लिए कुछ फॉर्मेट होता है सर, नहीं तो हमें अपना बनाना है सर.
नहीं नहीं मैम, ये जितने भी आपको डिस्प्ले पर दिख रहे हैं डॉक्यूमेंट्स, ये सभी फॉर्मेट हम आपको प्रोवाइड करेंगे। सो यहाँ पर प्रॉपर एक स्ट्रक्चर होगा, प्रॉपर डॉक्यूमेंट होगा जिसमें क्राइटेरियाज ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड डाउन होंगे, आपको बस उसके रिस्पॉन्सेज लिखने हैं। राइट, फॉर एग्जांपल एचएम क्लासरूम ऑब्जर्वेशन में क्राइटेरियाज लिखे होंगे, आपकी क्या ऑब्जर्वेशन है आपको उस हेडर के आगे लिखना है, दैट्स इट। सो द पॉइंट दैट आई वाज
आप हमें प्रोवाइड करेंगे।
Yes, yes, yes. All these documents will be shared along with the PPT after the session with all of you. Please go through these documents and then we will have a quiz in the second session on these documents. Right? तो जो भी questions होंगे वो हम क्लियर करेंगे in the second session related to any of the document, but इसमें पूरी details जो है हमने ऐड की है. So you will get all the documents.
Sir,
Any other question?
this is Principal KVIT.
हाँ जी
Sir,
सर.
this reports you are talking about. So actually, you are analyzing the different type of whatever the data the teachers are uploading it based on the classroom activities, based on the performance of the children. Can you give us some consolidated report, like for the principal, which are the subjects they are doing good, or where it needs more attention, or which class where there is a slackness, or which area? Because you know better than us, as we are into it just now. We are learning phase, we can say. So if you can help us, sir, these are the classes where in this subject and these areas, if you can focus on, like, it will be helpful to HM as well as to us, so that whenever we take meeting, we can ask the teacher specifically to focus on those areas, and or whenever they do such areas activity, we can observe it, so that we will be able to understand
Sir,
in a better
that is
way.
what these documents are aiming for. आपको क्या ऑब्जर्व करना है एज एन एचएम, व्हाट यू हैव टू ऑब्जर्व इन द क्लासरूम, व्हाट आर दोस थिंग्स व्हिच आर वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर इफेक्टिव इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ दोस प्रोग्राम्स, कौन कौन से वो क्राइटेरियाज है, वो ऑलरेडी डॉक्यूमेंट में लिखे होंगे, आपको बस उसके रिस्पॉन्सेज लिखने हैं, बिकॉज ऑन ग्राउंड आर द पीपल हु आर गोइंग टू ऑब्जर्व दीज थिंग्स। सो एचएमसी ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं कि क्लास में हो क्या रहा है या फिर बच्चे क्या फील कर रहे हैं। सो क्राइटेरियाज वहां पर क्लियरली लिखे हुए हैं सर, इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि जस्ट गो थ्रू दिस डॉक्यूमेंट्स, यू विल गेट टू नो द क्राइटेरियाज, एंड उन्हीं क्राइटेरियाज के बेसिस पर ये रिपोर्ट्स बनेंगे, और वो रिपोर्ट्स का डॉक्यूमेंट्स का स्ट्रक्चर भी यहाँ पर अटैच्ड है। राइट, सो यू डोंट हैव टू राइट द क्राइटेरियाज, यू सिंपली हैव टू राइट योर रिस्पॉन्स, और वो ऑन ग्राउंड ही किया जा सकता है। बट कौन से वो क्राइटेरियाज हैं जो क्रूशियल है, इंपॉर्टेंट है, इन ऑर्डर टू इम्प्लीमेंट देम इफेक्टिवली, वो ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड है इन डॉक्यूमेंट्स। राइट, थैंक यू सर।
Excuse me, sir.
Yes
Actually,
ma'am.
sir is asking about class wise reports if we can get from the PBL assessment. Like suppose from my school we have three sections in for each class. So if we can
Mm-hmm.
get class wise report, like which section is lacking or there can be improvement, that thing sir
Okay,
is
okay.
asking.
ओके ओके श्योर मैम, आई थिंक दैट इज नॉट दैट बिग ऑफ एन इशू, ये किया जा सकता है। आई विल डेफिनेटली गिव दिस एज अ सजेशन टू द
This is
डायरेक्टर।
because different teachers are teaching in different sections.
गेट योर पॉइंट, गॉट योर पॉइंट सर, गॉट योर पॉइंट। सो डैशबोर्ड से इफ यू वांट कि डैशबोर्ड पर एंट्रीज से आप ये आइडिया लगा पाए कि किस सेक्शन में क्या परफॉर्मेंस रहा है, बिकॉज यू विल बी एबल टू इवैल्यूएट द टीचर बेटर एज वेल फ्रॉम द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स। तो आई थिंक दैट कैन बी डन, आई हैव डेफिनेटली नोटेड इट डाउन, आई विल डेफिनेटली रेज दिस एज अ सजेशन। Any other question before we conclude the meeting? In the
Sir,
meantime, if you come up with any doubts, any question, you can also ask in the follow-up session. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Sir, last time we received the booklet lesson number, sir. It was last time we got now the booklets, the PBL booklets. It was lesson number.
But some of the bundles did not have 50 copies in that. So what we thought was, we totally checked it. Okay, six bundles means 6 into 5300, like we added, and we have not opened those bundles. So these things we came to know later on, and second we have requested them to send it, and again we have sent one set, and that was happened. Now we will be a little bit careful, because once again the bundles have come. I am having 29 bundles. Today onwards they are going to distribute, start packing it up school wise. A little bit carefully we will do it. If any problem comes, immediately I will tell them to get it quickly.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Okay, then let's conclude the meeting, everyone. Thank you so much. Please make sure you go through each and every document thoroughly, and whatever doubts you have in the meantime, we can always have we can address those concerns and doubts in the follow-up session, right? Thank you so much. I will request
Kindly
everyone
share the
to
PPT, sir. Kindly share the PPTs, please.
ma'am, you will receive the mail in which in that mail as an attachment there will be all these documents and the PPT as well, right? Thank you so much. I will request all the HMs to leave the meeting so we can have the next session here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.